Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down how you can master your emotions instead of letting them master you. We're going to explore how one simple choice, the choice not to react, can literally change your career, your relationships, and yeah, your entire life. So, let's just kick things off with a pretty provocative idea from our source. Your emotions, they're basically outdated. That feeling of rage you get in traffic, or that pit of anxiety in your stomach before a big presentation, well, that's just your brain running on ancient software. It was designed for a world of life or death survival, not for navigating a modern office. Which leads to a really important question, right? Why does it feel like our own minds are working against us so much of the time? I mean, if we're so evolved, why can one critical email or a minor disagreement totally throw our whole day off the rails? The answer, it turns out, is deep in our brain's wiring. Okay, let's dive into this. To start, we have to understand the real-world damage that happens when we're emotionally reactive. Most of us just think, losing our temper is a small thing, a momentary slip. But the costs are hidden, and believe me, they add up over time. I mean, think about it. From that tense meeting with your boss to a heated argument with your partner. Every single uncontrolled reaction, it leaves a mark. It's not just about having one bad day. It's a pattern that can quietly destroy your reputation, weaken the bonds you care about most, and trap you in this awful cycle of regret that just eats away at your confidence. Here's a really powerful way to think about those emotional outbursts. They aren't signs of passion, they're withdrawals. Imagine every relationship has a trust bank account. Every time you react instead of respond, you're taking something out. And if you make too many withdrawals, you risk bankrupting your most important connections. So to figure out how to fix this, we need to meet the culprit. And it's this ancient piece of hardware inside your brain. Deep in your temporal lobe, there's this tiny almond-shaped thing that acts as your own personal, very jumpy alarm system. And this is the moment everything goes wrong. It's called an amygdala hijack. It's when your rational brain just goes completely offline, and your ancient survival instincts grab the steering wheel. As soon as your amygdala senses a threat, any threat, it floods your system with stress hormones and shuts down your ability to think clearly. And this, right here, this is the whole problem. Your amygdala's alarm system cannot tell the difference between a real physical threat, like a saber-toothed tiger, and a modern social one, like a blunt email. To your ancient brain, they're both life or death situations, so it triggers the exact same fight or flight response. Okay, now this is where it gets really fascinating. Your emotional brain is lightning fast. The amygdala fires off in just 12 milliseconds. But your logical, rational brain, it takes over 500 milliseconds to even figure out what's going on. That gap, that huge half-second delay, that's the trouble zone. It's the space where our reactions happen long before our reason has any chance to step in. But here's the good news, you can train your brain. You don't have to be a victim of that 12-millisecond reaction. The source material lays out this really clear path with 4 distinct levels of emotional control that can take you from being controlled by your emotions to being the one in control. Now, most people, and let's be honest, this is probably us a lot of the time, are stuck at levels 1 or 2. We're either blindly reacting or we kind of know better, but we do it anyway. The real goal, where the power is to operate from levels 3 and 4. That's where you feel the emotion, but you consciously choose your response. Or even better, you learn to transform that raw emotional energy into fuel for your goals. Okay, so how do we move up those levels? Well, it all starts with a simple, super practical tool you can use the moment you feel triggered. This isn't just some abstract theory. It's a real method to create that all-important space between the trigger and your response. Think of this 4-step method as your emergency brake for an amygdala hijack. First, S, stop. Just physically stop. Take your hands off the keyboard, close your mouth. Second, T, take a breath, a specific calming breath that resets your nervous system. Third, O, observe. What are the actual facts here versus the story I'm telling myself? And finally, P, proceed. But now you're proceeding with a conscious choice that serves your future, not your fleeting emotion. Now, using this method isn't just about damage control or, not getting into arguments. It's actually about building something much, much deeper. When you consistently choose how you respond, you are laying the foundation for true, unshakable confidence, the kind that doesn't just vanish when life gets hard. So let's redefine confidence. It's not a feeling you have to wait for.
Real confidence is simply the quiet certainty that comes from knowing you have the tools to navigate whatever challenge comes your way. It's not about thinking you'll never fail, it's about knowing you can handle it when you do.
And this kind of confidence, it isn't built on flimsy external things like praise or promotions. It's built on solid internal pillars that you control. Things like your ability to manage your emotions, your integrity, and your resilience. And that's what makes it so durable, so independent of what's happening around you. This right here is the secret loop. We so often think we need to feel confident before we take action, but it's the complete opposite. You take action even though you feel uncertain. You handle the situation, and then their brain collects that evidence and literally updates its files on you, thinking, oh, okay, I guess we can handle that. That's how real confidence is built. So ultimately, this is what it all comes down to. Anger, fear, frustration, all of it contains this immense energy. That energy isn't good or bad. It's just raw power. The only question is, are you going to let it control you, or are you going to choose to harness it and use it as fuel to build the life you actually want? The choice and all that power is yours.